Lungi, coming here, first of all, let's go back to the fact your World Test Championship. What was that like as a team, getting over the line?
It was obviously very, very exciting for us as a team. We had worked very hard for what we achieved. It was a little bit nerve-wracking, obviously ICC trophy, but to be able to bring it home, I think, was the most rewarding thing. Having waited so many years for an ICC trophy, for that group of guys to be able to do it was really good.
And what is it that has made South Africa, like in the recent times, got to the T20 final, got into a couple of semis. What is it that has changed in South Africa that has made it get towards the latter stages?
Look, I think the squads that have been playing those finals, everyone can see they've been playing together for many years. I think we've been playing together since under 19. So, for all those guys to catch up now and to be playing in the same team, we all understand each other. We all, back each other. I think the mindset is what's been the most important thing. Playing with a group of guys that understand you, you don't feel like you're out of place. And then when you get to tournaments like that, you just trust in each other's work and what they can achieve. So I think that's been the biggest thing.
Oh, you talked about the nerves before the final, and then getting into it, then getting over getting close to that. There must have been, a bit of fear at some point. Like, is this really happening, and that sort of thing?
I think that happens in any game, to be honest with you. There was ebbs and flows in that game. 1 minute we thought Australia were in the driver's seat and then we would take it back. That was the beauty of that game. And I think we couldn't relax since day one. So that was where the nerves and maybe a little bit of fear, once we saw that, okay, well, it's within reaching range now. We just needed someone to do something special, and that was Aiden Markram on the day. And yeah, no one was relaxed until that final run was scored.
And Temba as a leader?
Temba's done very well as a leader. I mean, he led from the front. I think we all saw, even when he was injured, he chose to stay out there to push the team over the line. We all follow, as players, we all follow our leader. And for him to lead in that manner, it epitomizes, his character as a person and what we wanted to achieve as a team.
And then for you, there were many people who are like, why is Ngidi playing the final? Some had their different favorite player. Did it give you a sense of, I don't want to call it relief, but showing what you're worth, that you proved the doubters wrong?
Look, to be honest with you, it had nothing to do with people on the outside. The reason why I was selected was stated by the coach and the captain. It was a tactical decision, nothing more, nothing less. And my numbers in Test cricket speak for themselves. Temba told me before the game, there's a reason why I averaged 23 with the ball. I think I got a strike rate of about 44. So the numbers are there to back up, the selection that they made. Personal opinion, people always have that. But then again, they're not the coaches and they're not the ones in the change room. So yeah, when your coach and your captain and your teammates believe in you, that's all you really need as a player. Any noise from the outside is just a matter of opinion, to be honest.
And what kind of coach is Chipre Conrad?
Look, a very simple coach. Doesn't speak a lot. At this level, I don't think as a coach, you need to be telling players a lot. It's more about the mindset. And that's one thing that he's instilled in this team, the belief in how good we are and in what we can achieve, which is very important. Over the years, we've been playing cricket for many years now, but it's just a matter of having that mindset that, I can achieve great things. And as a team, we are good enough to win trophies. And I think the proof is in the pudding.
And now he's moved over to white ball?
Same thing. The man doesn't change. The one thing I love about him is that he's consistent. The same chat has been happening. It's the confidence in yourself. It doesn't matter whether you're 18 or you're 36. The mindset of what you need to do and what you can achieve is the most important thing to him. And I think it shows when guys go out to play. They play with freedom and they play with the belief in themselves.
I know there's a lot of talk about, the franchise system and so forth across the world. South Africa itself has got its own franchise. And some people have said maybe the commitment in some players to the international cause is not as high. What are your thoughts on that with respect to South Africa?
Yeah, look, I think, everyone's reasons are different. Again, we also do this to provide for our families. So, if you see better opportunities to be able to do that, I think as a player, that's what you'll do. For some, it's different. My dream has always been to play for South Africa, to play for my country. One day be able to tell my children that, I had a 10-year career, if God blesses me. For me, that's something special to be able to share that legacy with, whoever's coming behind me. But for some, it may not be the same. It may be, what's my priorities right now, and that may be, providing for your family or setting up your future. So it differs for everyone. But I think in the end, we can't really judge people on the decisions they make. You're not in someone's shoes, and you don't live their life. So it is a difficult one, I think, for the coaches, when players, want to look for franchise opportunities rather than international commitments. But, there's more than enough guys here that are raring to play for South Africa. So, if someone steps out, there's obviously someone who's going to fill those shoes. So it differs for everyone, but I think everyone has, their own reasons as to why they do that.
Because you said the legacy of your family. You can go back. You got back home and told them, look, like got a World Test Championship medal.
Yeah, those are the things for me that, that's the reason why I play the sport. I've always loved playing cricket. I love winning trophies, and I would love to leave a legacy. I think that's the most important thing for me. I think everyone knows the background that I come from. My parents were domestic workers, and, I don't think anyone thought that, their name would go down in history. But, here I stand today trying to, rewrite that script and, to provide something beautiful for the Ngidis that are going to come after me.
And then now looking at a country like Zimbabwe, you played against them a couple of matches now. The one thing that I think a lot of fans who watched you now in the flesh, most of the time just only seeing you on TV, is the intensity and the accuracy you play with. What do you think it takes for some of the Zimbabwean players that you've seen to just take themselves to the next level? Because Zimbabwe is a country that is trying to come up again. What do you think are the small things that they could focus on?
Look, having played against the guys, I've played against them for, a number of years now, and the guys are quality. That's one thing I can tell you. You don't play international cricket by chance. And we've seen in these games now, there's patches where, the boys show their true capacities. And then I think the biggest thing is just the consistency in that, just keeping that rolling over, where you try have less ebbs and flows in your game. And once you have momentum, for example, Bennett, the other game, he was on top of the game, just to push that innings through, to the final overs. Obviously, we understand that, it doesn't always go your way, but I think when you're really on top of the game to capitalize, that is the biggest difference that I've seen so far, where you allow opposition back into the game. That's what, great teams don't allow you back into the game. If you look at the Australians, once they've got the pressure on you, they make sure they keep it on you till the end of the game. And I think that's the one thing that I've seen that the boys could improve on. But other than that, they are a quality bunch of cricketers. They've put us under pressure. They've put New Zealand under pressure. And yes, the results haven't gone their way, but, the fight that they've shown is something that's really promising. So it's just keeping the consistency in once you're bossing the game, just to make sure you carry that to the finish line.
My second last question. You've come to Zimbabwe. Outside the cricket, what have you experienced?
To be honest, I love it here. Our manager Stan, or our liaison Stan, he's been unbelievable. He's shown us, around Zim. We've met some great people. The atmosphere, that's been one thing for me that I've loved the most. The fans come out to support, and, whether it's win or lose, they're still loud. They've been singing in the stands the entire time. So for me, this is one place that I've said I definitely want to come back and play cricket. So yeah, it has really been good.
Okay, so now what's next for the Lungi Ngidi? Or as Kwame calls you on when he's commenting Lungi Ngidi.
I think he's the only one who calls me by my full name. The only time I hear my full name is when I'm in trouble at home. But, I don't mind Kwame calling me by my full name.
Okay, this is not trouble. But what next? You've got the World Test Championship. I'm guessing T20 World Cup and building up to that. And then there's, of course, the big one in 2027.
Yeah, those are obviously definitely in the pipeline. But one thing I've learned over my career is, I try to take it one series at a time. You never know what's going to happen in the next few months. But, in the build up to that, we've got a couple of series. So the best thing is to put your best foot forward. Obviously, put your hand up for selection for those. But yeah, those are definitely some things that are in the back of my mind. Obviously, a T20 World Cup, we've reached a final, so that tells us that if we play to the best of our abilities, we can probably come back with that as well. 2027, we're hosting, and we would love to obviously do it at home in front of our people. So that's definitely something exciting.
Well, Zim is co-hosting, so we're hoping we'll do it against you.
I mean, I'm assuming everyone's aiming to win, but I guess it's going to be a tough competition, and may the best team win.
Okay, all the best.
Thank you.
Cheers.